It was a Friday afternoon on an autumn day in the early 1980s. Bobby was home from school awaiting his mother's arrival, which typically occurred in the late afternoon after dropping off his older sister at dance class. During the interval, he normally played outside with his friends, hung out at a friend's house, read a book, watched television, played Ms. Pac-Man, Centipede or pinball at the local arcade, or any number of activities typical of an early middle school student of that era. However, this Friday would not be typical or normal. His mother ordered him not to go anywhere and to simply await her arrival. It was, "Be home or else." Her words from a week ago echoed through his thoughts. "You never listened when I told you to pay more attention to your hair. Now I am going to do something about it." He suspected doing something about it meant she might not have any intention of giving him a haircut. He liked having long rock star hair. If not a haircut, then what? As Bobby nervously waited, he realized he had never given much thought to his hair. Other than shampooing it and, as his mother would occasionally demand, applying conditioner. He did little more than towel dry it, run a comb through it and let it dry naturally. This was in stark contrast to his mother, Annette, and older sister, Lisa, who spent an exponential quantity of time dedicated to their hair. Countless hair-related objects cluttered the bathroom countertops every day: regular hair rollers, hot curlers, hair dryers, curling irons, hair clips and pins, barrettes, and various other hair-related accessories dominated much of the bathroom space and were testament to the amount of time devoted to their hair, and that was just the bathroom he shared with his sister. Add to that the limitless other items in their beauty regimen arsenal, and Bobby did well to find a small niche for his few personal toiletries. When he dared to ask Lisa for more countertop space for his few things, he was met with derision and ridicule. When he took the matter up with his mother, she admonished, "Ladies need more bathroom space than men do, and it's best you learn that now." It resulted in him losing the minuscule bathroom plot he had carved out. Bobby had grown his hair long in the fashion of heavy metal rock stars of the day. While his mother tolerated his long mane, she demanded that it be kept tidy and under control. When he sought his mother's approval to wear his hair like a rock star, he recalled her response, "You are now old enough to make decisions regarding your personal appearance. I'm fine with you growing your hair long, but it must be kept neat and well-groomed. This means I want you to take the initiative of asking me to do an occasional light trim. I shouldn't have to hound you regarding your appearance, so I won't nag you about this. However, I will not tolerate straggly, disheveled, or unruly hair." She concluded her prerequisite with an ultimatum delivered in an ominous tone: "Heed my words, pay attention to your hair or I will do something about it." Bobby began his rock star grow out with longer hair than most boys his age. He never seriously thought about why he liked having longer hair, it just felt right to him. He followed his mother's directive to the letter at first. However, as time passed and his hair reached shoulder length, he became ever more lax and inattentive to it. He knew this annoyed her, as she occasionally, without warning, would run a brush through his hair or brusquely grab his arm and sit him down for a light trim. Yet she never followed through on her threat to do something about it. He assumed she had forgotten all about her warning. He was wrong. She had now taken a sudden and unsettling interest in his hair. His thoughts drifted back to just over a week ago. 8 days had passed since the most humiliating event of his life. His older sister, Lisa, girlified him. Through physical force and coercion, she compelled him to wear a dress and submit to having his hair curled. A touch of blackmail sealed his obedience. At 1.5 years older, she was still physically bigger and stronger than him, and frequently made sure he was well aware of that fact. Nearing completion of his feminine transformation, he endured every indignity of the process and stood before Lisa adorned in full feminine regalia. Delighted with her work, she engaged in a gloating, self-congratulatory tribute to herself for turning him into a very pretty girl. Then their mother, Annette, arrived home unexpectedly early and caught Bobby adorned in a frilly, lemon chiffon party dress with his hair set in hot rollers. He stood before his mother paralyzed, unable to move or speak, red-faced and flushed with fear and embarrassment as Lisa tried unsuccessfully to stifle a giggle. He was mortified at what her reaction would be. Would she be shocked, angered, or disappointed? Would she scold or punish him or his sister, or both? No. Her reaction was quite the opposite. She helped Lisa finish the job. Together his mother and sister took down his hair curlers and arranged his curls, dousing them with heavy bursts of hairspray to create what they called ringlets. To his bewilderment, his mother enthusiastically participated in rendering the final touches to his feminine transformation, and she reveled in the process. His humiliation was complete when he was directed to pose for what was coined a fashion model's photo shoot, which captured the entire spectacle on film. He prayed that film would never see the light of day. His only redemption was none of his friends saw him in this mortifying state of femininity. After an evening of teasing by his mother, proclaiming him as her very pretty youngest daughter, and Lisa declaring him as her little sister, he was finally allowed to take off the dress. Just before bedtime, Annette sat Bobby down in front of her vanity mirror at her bedroom dressing table to lovingly brush his hair as any mother would do with a daughter. She first removed the large, red bow that Lisa placed in his hair, insisting it would make him prettier, and began separating her son's ringlets and curls with her fingers, creating even more of them in the process. His curls soon multiplied as if by magic as his hair was transformed into a mass of bouncy tresses. Bobby was astonished at how curly his normally straight hair had become. When Annette finished, she proclaimed, "I couldn't resist. I always loved doing your sister's hair like this when she was much younger, and it's so cute. Lisa, come see what I've done with your brother's hair. Bobby, your hair looks like mine when I was 6 years old, a lovely mass of curls." Lisa gasped. "A real honor, Lisa," he replied disdainfully. "You know, Mom." Lisa continued, "If we only had a frilly pink, ruffled spring dress and some petticoats. And embroidered white nylon stockings with a pair of pink Mary Janes." Annette completed the sentence as she and Lisa giggled in unison. Perhaps. Annette thought aloud. Bobby knew nothing good would come of it if this conversation continued on its current path. "What about my hair? Let's get rid of these curls," he interrupted. "Why would you want to?" Annette teased. "You look like a living doll." "He sure does," Lisa added. "Except what happened to that pretty red bow he had in his hair?" She laughed. "Mom, sis, stop it. Don't be so oversensitive, darling. We're just having a little fun with you. Don't worry, sweetie baby, Mommy's gonna brush your hair and make it all better," Annette said in a high-pitched baby voice, which made Lisa laugh even louder. Bobby sat in silent resignation as Annette, with brush and comb, began to transform his mass of curls. Over the next several minutes she carefully and affectionately turned them into smooth waves, swirls and loose curls. Then with one final stroke of her brush, she declared with astonishment, "Oh, my goodness! Such wonderful volume and curl! It turned out gorgeous. I wasn't sure this was possible with your unruly mop that has masqueraded as hair for the past few months. It's amazing how hair rollers tamed your shaggy mane. As a former hairdresser, I should have known rollers are the cure for dreadful hair. Let's keep this in mind for the future, shall we? Let's also keep your hairdo intact until morning. We don't want you to wake up with bad head now, do we? So hold still," she commanded. She reached for a can of aerosol hairspray from her dressing table. Bobby heard distinct sounds as his mother directed the hairspray all around his head. A distinct, flowery aroma assailed his nostrils as he was quickly enveloped in a thick cloud of hairspray. With one final long sound, Annette declared, "There. Now it won't move in a hurricane. I'll work on it some more in the morning and you will go to school with presentable hair for a change," she said with authority. "Rest assured, you will have a good hair day tomorrow," she further stated with certainty. Bobby instantly heard Lisa howling with laughter. He awoke the next morning with his hair still reeking of hairspray. Lying on a pillow all night did nothing to flatten out his hair as it was dominated by curls and waves which were still firmly set in place. He awakened before Lisa and was first to their shared bathroom. As he gazed into the mirror at his hairdo, as his mother called it, he recoiled at the thought of going to school with girls' hair. He envisioned his classmates tormenting him relentlessly. Words like sissy, pansy and pantywaist would be the mildest of names he would be forced to endure. Getting beaten up wasn't something he cared to experience today either. He decided the solution was to wash his hair while taking his shower. Then he remembered the lyrics of a song from an old musical he and his mother watched earlier in the week. "I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair, I'm gonna wash that man right out of my hair and send him on his way." Without thinking he began to sing, "I'm gonna wash these curls right out of my hair, I'm gonna wash these curls right out of my hair." "Oh each and no you don't, come here," his mother yelled. He instantly cringed and within minutes his hair was pinned up and tucked inside a shower cap. Annette warned him, "Don't you dare take this off, your hair stays dry." Lisa, now fully awake, emerged from her bedroom with a wry grin. "That's to protect your pretty hairdo," she snickered. "Oh, so now I'm protecting my pretty hairdo, am I? As if I wasn't girlified enough last night," he muttered. He emerged in his bathrobe after showering, shower cap still in place. He once again found himself sitting before his mother's vanity mirror in her bedroom. His hair tumbled down to his shoulders as Annette removed the hair clips. "I just can't get over how pretty your hair looks," she remarked. "Mom, I can't go to school with pretty hair," he whined. "I'm just teasing. You look smart and well-groomed." "Oh, I see. You're worried about the curls, aren't you? I don't think they're too feminine, but I understand. Don't you worry, I'll give it another good brush out and take all the curls away." "No. It's not just the curls, it's all of it," he answered sharply. Appearing somewhat annoyed, Annette replied, "Just you wait until I'm finished before passing judgment, all right?" For the next several minutes she deftly worked her comb and brushed through his hair as she transformed his curls into waves. You know, it could use something more." "Ah, yes. Why didn't I think of it before?" Annette reached for yet another container among the large mass of bottles and jars on her dressing table. "This will smooth the flyaways and make your hair more vibrant and give it some finishing pizzazz." She squeezed a few drops of hair serum onto her hands, rubbed her palms together and spread the product over, around and through her son's hair, then smoothed it with her comb before finishing with a light mist of hairspray. Taking a moment to admire her work, she declared, "Voila! It has the shine it so desperately needed." As Bobby gazed into the vanity mirror, Annette positioned a hand mirror behind his head and angled it so her son could see the results from the back. The curls that once dominated his hairstyle were replaced with prominent, sleek glossy waves with the ends curling under. "That's just great," shaking his head as he muttered under his breath. "Now I have shiny girl's hair." "Oh, Bobby," Annette marveled. "Your hair is a delight to behold." "Lisa, isn't your brother's hairdo lovely?" He is sure to get some nice compliments at school. It's adorable. He's going to get something at school, I don't know what, but something, that's for sure. Lisa replied with amusement. All I know is, the girls will be totally jealous when they see his hair, totally. Bobby grimaced. His hair looked and smelled like he just stepped out of a beauty parlor. This can't be happening, he thought. Flustered and desperate to make a point, he did so with the finesse of a jackhammer, stamping his feet and shouting, "If you make me go to school like this, you might as well do me in makeup and put me in a dress." Annette's face darkened as her silence spoke volumes. "Very well, I'll get my makeup case," she declared. "And I have just the dress for you," Lisa uttered with delight. Wide-eyed with panic, Bobby squealed, "No, wait. Wait. I was just joking, Mom," he lied. "I love what you've done with it and I can't wait to show off my new hairstyle." "Very well then," Annette replied frostily, neither smiling nor amused. He bowed his head in silent resignation. Any attempt to sway his mother now would be futile. "I still think you would look adorable in that dress," Lisa added with a giggle. "And stop sulking, Bobby. Women would pay good money for hair like yours." Bobby barely engaged in conversation at breakfast. While Annette and Lisa chattered away, he sat gazing into the distance, consumed with his thoughts. "It will be a disaster if I show up at school like this. I'm sure to be voted the boy with the prettiest hair in school." "Bobby, your hair looks fabulous, so quit worrying about it," Annette said. "Everything a girl could want," he replied glumly. Annette ignored her son's sulking reply with continued enthusiasm. "It turned out marvelously with just some hot rollers, hairspray, and a little brushing. Just think, if Lisa hadn't stuck it in rollers, we may never have known." "You should be thanking her for that." "As a former cosmetologist, I should have known." "You're welcome, Bobby," Lisa interjected cheekily with a smirk. Bobby replied. Undeterred, Annette continued without pause or interruption, "You may recall my promise to do something about your hair if you didn't pay attention to it and keep it presentable? Now I'm going to keep that promise. Make no mistake, your hair is now mine to do with as I please. And I intend to do just that. I know you like having long hair, and that gives me endless ways to style it. I will put you on your path to fabulous hair, and it all starts next Friday. Book it! We will start our hair session after I take Lisa to dance class. Come straight home from school, don't go anywhere, and wait for me to get home," she decreed. "But don't worry, darling," her tone lightened, "we will have a great time and you'll come out looking like $1,000,000. You'll see. Now be on your way and show off your new hairdo with pride. Everyone's going to love it," Annette said with enthusiastic sincerity as she kissed his cheek. Bobby cringed whenever his mother used the girlish-sounding word, hairdo, when referring to him. But he knew it was correct according to the dictionary. Hairdo refers to the style in which a woman has her hair cut or arranged. And he was certain, without a doubt, that he wore his hair like a woman today. As he opened the front door, he resigned himself to his fate as he greeted the day that would ruin him. The sky was still dark as he felt the early morning chill of late October. It was like any typical autumn day, only today he ventured to school with hair as pretty as his sister's. He reckoned the darkness would safely obscure him until the sun emerged on the horizon, illuminating the sky, revealing his pretty hairdo for the entire world to see. He recoiled, imagining what was to come, the penetrating stares of his classmates, the scathing comments he would receive. "Look at the boy with the girly hair. What a sissy! Hello, girly boy. And some bully was likely to pick a fight, he thought apprehensively. His tension was palpable as he walked along in defeated, sullen silence. Even Lisa could sense his distress. Without her, he would not be in this predicament. After all, she was the one who sat him down and forced him to have his hair curled. As much as she enjoyed tormenting him, she couldn't help but feel a touch of empathy for her brother. She contemplated removing a band from her purse and turning her brother's hairdo into a ponytail. The few longer-haired boys at their middle school often bound their hair in a ponytail so Bobby would blend right in. Her kindness would score huge points with her brother, plus he would be deeply indebted to her and owe her in a big way, she thought. She found herself reaching into her purse, then abruptly stopped. No. I don't think so, changing her mind as she murmured under her breath. But I will cheer him up by giving him a compliment, she decided. Bobby, if it's any consolation, your hair has awesome bounce, she said in a soft-spoken, comforting and reassuring tone. What do you mean? He replied guardedly. Like, it has such totally excellent movement. Whenever you take a step it flows wonderfully, bouncing up and down, and swishing from side to side. We girls love it when our hair has nice bounce. It's really attractive and gets a girl noticed. I'm like, totally jealous, totally. Your hair has better bounce than mine today. That does it. Bobby fumed in silence. One way or another I won't be seen with attractive, bouncy girl's hair. But how do I get out of this predicament? He thought. His mind raced, desperate for a plan, but he came up with nothing. He walked along in a daze, having little awareness of the distance traveled when he gazed upon Lisa's mid-back length, auburn hair which she wore in a myriad of styles. She sported curls today that bounced provocatively about her shoulders and down her back. Earlier this morning, he watched as she deftly manipulated her curling iron, winding her hair around the hot barrel, then releasing the clip as each newly formed curl tumbled down her back and shoulders. He was both fascinated and impressed by the inordinate amount of time and effort both she and their mother dedicated to their hair. Although he would never admit it to Lisa, he thought she had pretty hair, especially when it was done up in curls like today. Suddenly an idea came to him in a rush. Sis, I know what you mean, your hair has nice bounce too. Pardon? She replied confused. Did my little brother just compliment me on my hair? She thought. Your curls bounce with every step you take. It's quite mesmerizing. Really? Oh, stop it, she said, even more perplexed. No, it's true. I just now realized why hair movement is so important. It's a subtle thing that can't help but get a girl noticed, and your curls do just that. Wait. What's gotten into you? She queried incredulously. No, really, I don't mean to sound weird, but take it from your brother. You have the most spectacular hair, the color, the length, and most definitely the curls are all to die for. It's beyond gorgeous. I've always thought this but wouldn't dare say anything. I didn't want your head to swell any bigger than it already is, ha. You're being incredibly sweet, Bobby. I love this side of you, she softened. I notice how you change your hairstyle every few days, and it's exciting to imagine what you'll do with it next. Will it be straight or in curls, pinned up, braided, or in a ponytail? I like it best when it's in curls. Curls are your thing. Bobby, I never knew you took such an interest in my hair. That's really cool. What's really cool is all the different ways you do your hair, and I'm not the only one who notices. I can see why the boys at school stop and stare when you walk by. They talk about you too. Why, just the other day I overheard a group of them saying, Lisa is hot. And they called you, the girl with the most awesome hair in school. Oh, my. Her voice trailed off in a whisper, her eyes began to glaze over as she patted her hair. Yes. That struck a chord with her, he thought. Now is my chance. He felt emboldened. Sis, I guess I'm finally seeing the light. I know how important hair is. You are living proof that beautiful hair matters. And you have an abundance of it. I realize how lucky I am that you and Mom gave me this awesome hairstyle. I must show it off to my best friend Steve before anyone else. You understand, right? His house is just 1 block over. Why don't you go on ahead without me? Yes. Of course. Lisa replied as if her mind was in a fog. Go get your friend's opinion on your new do. That's exactly what we girls would do. And from now on I'm getting your opinion on my hair. She said, walking away as if in a trance. Did she just imply that I'm one of the girls now? He said aloud. It didn't matter, he thought. All he knew was his idea worked beyond his wildest imagination. He intended to overwhelm his sister with compliments, then grovel obsequiously, pleading for her sympathy to allow him to mess up his hair and not tell Mom. While he meant what he said about Lisa's hair, he embellished a lot. Living with 2 domineering women all his life, he learned a survival defense mechanism or 2. This one came from Bobby's mental handbook, Surviving a Household with 2 Overbearing, Dominant Women. Rule number 2 read, compliment a woman to death before asking her favor. With this tactic he unexpectedly discovered Lisa's kryptonite, her hair. He decided to keep this fact in his pocket. Even at his young age he knew knowledge was power. With Lisa no longer by his side, he was free to do as he pleased. He had no intention of going to Steve's house. He silently snuck into a neighbor's backyard, found a water faucet, turned it on and doused his head under the running water. The bracing, cold water obliterated all trace of the shiny, silky waves, leaving his hair appearing as a wet mop. With nothing to dry his hair, he shivered as he walked to school, but he didn't care. No one cared when he arrived at school with soaking wet, messy hair, other than his friend Steve, who sarcastically inquired if he fell into the river on the way to school. He successfully avoided Lisa all day. When he returned home, his pretext for his ruined hair was, I showered after physical education class. He didn't have to use that excuse because his mother and sister were strangely silent, making no inquiry into how his hairdo was received by his classmates. Curious, he thought aloud. He couldn't shake the feeling that somehow he didn't get away with what he had done. Bobby shuddered as he finished reliving events from last week. His thoughts returned to the present as his mother's proclamation echoed through his mind, we will begin our hair session after I drop Lisa off at dance class. Admitting the possibility that nothing masculine was planned for tonight's hair session gave him no small measure of anxiety. Lisa's interpretation of their mother's declaration was cringeworthy. I will translate what Mom is saying in case you don't get it or can't comprehend what's in store for you. You're getting the hair curler treatment. You're getting curlers in your hair just like a girl again. Bobby's getting curlered, Bobby's getting curlered, Bobby's getting curlered? She intoned in a melody. You'll be in curlers a lot more from now on, so just get used to them. Lisa taunted unmercifully. He had never given much thought to these distinctly feminine objects of hair care until now. He began to rationalize his situation aloud as he nervously awaited his mother's arrival. Shaking his head, he knew Lisa was right. I'm going to be girlified with my hair put up in girls' hair rollers for the 2nd time in a week. As sure as the sun rises, it's curlers for Bobby. Or maybe not, he brightened. Mom hasn't mentioned our hair session all week, and she used to be a hairdresser and is quite the hair enthusiast. Lisa hasn't either, and she can't resist tormenting me. Perhaps Mom has forgotten all about it. I believe I have skated by, he said gleefully. Then his mother opened the front door. Annette was smartly dressed in her typical work attire, a business suit and skirt. Her hair was immaculately styled in cascading tresses which extended well below her shoulders. "Sweetie, sorry I'm late. I had to stop by the mall and the beauty supply store to get some things for our appointment tonight. I bought some special shampoo that does wonders for holding curl." She started toying with his hair. "Let's have a look." Your hair has a slight case of the frizzies, and I was thinking of doing a hot oil conditioning treatment on it, but it looks passable and I don't think there is time tonight, so we can do it another day. I've waited all week to get my hands on your hair and give it some yummy curls. The sooner we get it set in rollers, the better. We are going to have so much fun. Shall we get started? So much for skating by, he thought. It really is curlers for Bobby, he muttered under his breath. Have a look and see what's inside the pink bag from the beauty supply store, darling, she said excitedly. He reached into the bag and began removing what seemed like endless packets of brush rollers in various sizes and colors. There are hair curlers galore in here. Are you opening a beauty parlor, Mom? Bobby, you are so funny, she laughed. A girl can never have enough hair curlers in her arsenal. She must always have more than she needs. You never want to run short of curlers. Did you just say curlers instead of rollers? He asked incredulously. His sister, Lisa, strongly favored the term curlers, while his mother almost exclusively preferred rollers. He recalled a time when they debated whether rollers or curlers was more correct, which almost resulted in an argument. Only those two could possibly quarrel over something as trivial as hair curlers. He silently chuckled. Yes, your sister's lingo is rubbing off on me, Annette laughed. Keep going, there's more. He grasped a bottle of blue-colored, liquid setting lotion followed by a can of styling mousse, then a tall can of aerosol hairspray, extra hold. His eyes widened as he removed eyeliner, followed by mascara, an eyeshadow palette and an eyebrow pencil. A consequence of living with two women meant he learned by osmosis the names of cosmetics and their purpose and function. He could not decide if it was a good thing that he knew the difference between eyeliner and mascara, or how foundation and blush were used and why. He could never reveal he knew such things to his buddies at school, as nothing good would ever come of it. He dumped the remaining contents of the bag onto the kitchen countertop: lipstick, lip gloss, lip liner, blush, foundation, powder, and a compact mirror. At that moment, he had an epiphany that his mother planned more, much more for him tonight than just curling his hair. His eyes began to glaze over as he stared blankly at her and was only vaguely aware she was speaking. Sweetie, we have everything we need to make a girl beautiful, and you will make such a beautiful girl. We will. You forgot the nail polish, Bobby interrupted sarcastically as he recovered from his daze. Ignoring her son's contemptuous remark, Annette continued, we will try out the gorgeous bronze eyeshadow on you. I'll wager you'll look marvelous with that shade. And I've been dying to try this very chic brand of mascara on you. It goes on silky smooth and will enhance your long, thick eyelashes even more. Your lashes will be to die for, darling. Oh, and let's define your lips and make them more female. Pouty lips are cute. This lip liner should do the trick. And this cherry red lipstick will really make your lips stand out. Let's make a statement and go bold with your look. Before Bobby could interrupt, Annette continued, oh yes, and I have something very special for you in this bag, darling, just reach in. What else could there be, he thought with concern. Is this what I think it is? He said, staring at the distinctly feminine, black garment with dismay. If you're thinking it's a pretty, pleated skirt, then you're right, it is. Annette replied. Ah, I see, you're pulling my leg. This is really for you. It must be your skirt, Mom, he said nervously. I'm afraid not. It's not my size, it's your size, sweetheart, she said playfully. When I saw it, I knew you were meant for it and you are going to look really cute wearing it. Bobby, the skirt is all yours, just for you. And just to be clear, so are the hair rollers, the cosmetics, and everything else in these shopping bags. Let's keep what's in this unopened bag a secret until later, shall we? Bobby never imagined in his wildest dreams that he would own a skirt, hair curlers, or makeup. His mind now numb, he recognized the next item of clothing pulled from the bag, an unmistakably feminine, shiny red satin blouse. Your pretty blouse provides a wonderful color contrast to your skirt. You will look simply adorable in this ensemble, Annette said. But, Bobby stammered. I know what you are about to say, young man. However, if we are doing this, then we are going to do it right and go all the way. Trust your mother, you're going to look amazingly pretty and you will love it. Annette declared. But, he sputtered. Has your vocabulary been reduced to one word? Annette queried sarcastically. Her voice began to rise in both pitch and volume, becoming somewhat agitated. She continued, Your sister had you in a dress and curled your hair last week and the world didn't end, did it? Now it's my turn to make you over. I promise you will look and feel beautiful, and being beautiful is what it's all about. You won't achieve your full beauty potential tonight, but it will be a start. We might also go a touch further, she added with a sly wink. A touch further? You are already putting me in a dress, makeup, and my hair in curlers, he said with unintended derision. He knew instantly that he crossed a line with his mother. Watch your tone, young lady, Annette retorted sharply. Another word out of you and I will be most displeased. Bobby began to speak but thought better of it. First of all, you will be wearing a skirt, not a dress. Living with two women, you ought to know the difference by now. Secondly, I've told you and Lisa many times that rollers is more correct than curlers. You must have already forgotten that as well. What I haven't forgotten is your smart-alecky comment about not having nail polish with your cosmetics. I have plenty of it here at home with your name on it. We don't have time to do your nails tonight, but rest assured that we will the next time. Lastly, young lady, a feminine makeover may not seem like fun now, but you will change your mind much sooner than you think. Wait till you see what happens tonight, she added ominously. Bobby experienced this tone of voice before and he knew it all too well. He did not comprehend what his mother implied, that being made over to look like a girl was something he would desire in the future, and did not wish to provoke her further by asking for clarification. Did she just refer to me as young lady? He asked himself silently. This is not going well, he muttered, stating the obvious as his thoughts drifted to his mother, divorced with a successful career. Annette was caring and nurturing, but simultaneously a strong, commanding woman you rarely crossed. She was assertive, motivated, and at times domineering, and accustomed to having things her way. She was attractive by any standard, with long, auburn hair, which she typically wore in curls, but often changed her hairstyle on a whim. Always meticulous with her appearance, she strongly believed that one's appearance is how one is initially judged, and first impressions are lasting impressions. Her obsession with appearance extended to her hair. As a former cosmetologist, she never left the house with a hair out of place. Although she was no longer a professional hairdresser, she retained a passion for it. The hairstyling books and magazines scattered about the house were testament to her fixation with hair. She readily learned haircutting and styling techniques with a singularity of focus and purpose and applied that knowledge to both hers and her daughter's hair. She was in all respects the next best thing to a hairdresser. But first things first, your hair, Annette declared sharply. Bobby emerged from his contemplation and focused on the moment. Mom is hot and bothered and I put her there, he thought. It's my fault that I'm in this predicament. I let my hair get out of hand and it annoyed her to no end. I'm surprised she allowed it to go this far before doing something about it. She booked this appointment a week ago, so I should have known I was getting the hair curler treatment. Lisa told me as much. The curlers are coming. Get ready to get curlered. Another round of hair curlers for Bobby. Only now I'll be wearing makeup and be fitted with a skirt, a girl's skirt. There is no escaping from this, he thought ruefully. Once Mom decides to do something, it is set in stone. Nothing can change her mind. Shaking his head, he muttered, I'm going to be girlified and there's nothing I can do about it. I made Mom mad and now my girlification will be miserable every step of the way, he reasoned. She has all but said this was going to be the highlight of her week and now I'm raining on her parade. It's happening no matter what, so I need to suffer through it and make her happy. When Mom's happy, I'm happy. I must make things right with her, he decided. I must say something she wants to hear and make it sound convincing. Mom, I've been acting like a stubborn brat, and I'm sorry. You are right about everything. I've really been looking forward to tonight just like you, the two of us together. You fixing my hair, it's just what, sweetheart? She replied in a more relaxed tone. It's just, your hair is always so pretty. You have the most amazing curls and no one has prettier hair than you, Mom. And you're just so beautiful in every way, and when you say you're going to make me beautiful, I guess I got a little scared. Annette patted her hair in a feminine, primping gesture and replied softly, Oh darling, my sweet boy, those are some of the most wonderful things you could say to your mother. But don't ever be afraid of beauty in any form. Don't be afraid of your feminine side, all men have one, it should be embraced rather than denied. You will experience what it's like to be girl. I will be your guide to exploring your femininity and it will be magical. Girl me up, Mom. Make me look good in a skirt. I want pretty hair just like yours, he said, doubling down. I'm your daughter tonight. Don't hold back. Make me all the girl I can be and make me pretty. Annette's eyes glistened on the verge of tears as she embraced her son and kissed him softly on his forehead. Bobby, you have made your mother so happy. I'm going to make you much more than just pretty. I promise. Now that his mother was happy, he wondered if he had overdone it and gone too far. Annette continued with renewed enthusiasm, Darling, tonight I'm your hairdresser, your makeup artist, and your guide on your journey into girlhood. I'm going to make you the prettiest daughter a mother can have. I'm going to make you exquisitely feminine beyond your imagination. Young lady, by the end of the night you will look in the mirror and see something so stunning that you will regret not doing this sooner. When I get through with you, you are going to be so drop-dead gorgeous you will scream. I overdid it and went too far, Bobby gulped. Let's get started, shall we? Your hair comes first. Hair can be a girl's most important asset, you know? It's as a girl's crowning glory and it's often the first thing that gets her noticed. Having beautiful hair tells a lot about a girl, it shows she cares about her appearance. Annette began toying with her son's hair. I've been dying to doing something with this lovely mass of chestnut brown hair all week. Lisa gave you some adorable curls last week and those were done with hot rollers. We will do better. Tonight you're getting a proper wet set. Time to change out of my business clothes into something more befitting of a hairdresser, and then we'll get your hair washed. Now I want you to get out of that scruffy t-shirt and into a button-down shirt. Why, Mom? Silly, you can't pull a t-shirt over your head once your hair is up in rollers. And you can't wear that dreadful thing under your pretty blouse. Annette returned wearing a casual skirt and top. She washed Bobby's hair in the kitchen sink with special curl-enhancing shampoo, rinsed and wrapped it in a towel piled high on his head in the fashion done by women, then she sat him down onto a padded chair. Bobby recognized this chair as the focal point of countless hairdressings and makeovers in his household. He often watched in fascination as the distinctly feminine process unfolded. His mother's beauty parlor efforts were filled with care and devotion as she applied her skills upon Lisa. Occasionally their roles were reversed as Lisa assisted her mother with these endeavors. He recalled their laughter, giggling, and solving the world's problems as they doted on each other's hair and appearance. It was clear to him that a social bonding occurred whenever they engaged in this process and that this activity was important to them. It was as intriguing as it was perplexing why this was so. All he knew was whenever they sat in the chair they underwent a transformation and arose from it changed into something more beautiful. The chair represented transformation, in a sense it created beauty, female beauty. Now it was happening to him. He sat down with trepidation, dreading what was to come. His thoughts quickly returned into focus as his mother draped and secured a pink salon cape around his neck. As she unraveled the towel secured atop his head, his long hair fell upon the pink cape. I'm going with styling mousse to set your hair tonight. It's quicker, easier, and less messy than setting lotion, but will still give some oomph to your curls. That will help a lot when I do your comb out tomorrow. Bobby did not comprehend the importance of curls with oomph or comb outs, nor did he ask. He heard a squish sound as Annette dispensed styling foam into her hand. She worked the product through his thick, damp hair, then proceeded to comb it through until it was evenly distributed throughout. She began sectioning her son's shoulder-length hair, pinning each section aside with hair clips. She unclipped the first section at his crown and then divided off a strand of hair with her rat-tailed comb. Grasping a hair roller, she began explaining the basics of roller setting like a beauty school instructor teaching a student. There are many kinds of hair rollers. These are simple, brush rollers. I used to set my hair with them almost every day years ago. I'm setting yours with brush rollers because they are easy to wind and stay firmly in place, which will help when you're walking about this evening. I also want your hair to dry naturally, so don't worry, you won't have to sit under a hairdryer tonight. The hot rollers your sister used last week gave you nice curls, but we will get even better results with these. Strong, firm curls are essential for the gorgeous hairdo you are going to receive. Will it be like the hairdo you sent me to school with last week? Bobby asked uneasily. Oh, heavens no! I wouldn't dream of doing your hair so unisex like that tonight, Annette replied. What's in store for you is something wonderfully feminine. Don't worry, sweetie, there's no chance it will ever be mistaken for anything else but a girl's hairstyle, she affirmed. Bobby bowed his soon-to-be curler-laden head in resignation. Now let's get you rolled up, or as Lisa would say, curlered dot. Annette smoothed the strand of hair onto the roller and carefully wound it down to the top of his forehead, pressing it tightly to his scalp before driving a plastic pick through it to secure it in place. The process repeated as a straight line of curlers began forming from his forehead over his crown. Annette explained she was setting the rollers squarely and tightly on base to give his curls lift from the root. It is essential to have lift when I tease it tomorrow, she added. Bobby obediently handed his mother another roller. He felt a tug as she held each length of his hair tight and taut before winding each tress. He could feel the poke of the picks into his scalp as she secured each curler. In a sense of déjà vu, he remembered doing the same when Lisa curled his hair last week, handing her rollers and clips as she proceeded to adorn his head in curlers. Why were Mom and Lisa so obsessed with curling my hair? He thought. This question was not rhetorical. He really did not know. After the fifth roller was secured, Annette broke the silence. You're being a little quiet, Bobby. And since you are my daughter tonight, I do mean Bobby with an I. The thing we do as mother and daughter during our hairdressing is talk and bond. There are just two simple rules. Rule number 1, you or I can ask any question and the other must answer completely and honestly. And rule number 2, you can say anything you want without judgment. Whatever it is you are thinking, I want to hear it no matter what. I'll go first. Bobby jumped in, asking point blank, why do you and Lisa want to turn me into a girl? Annette was startled by her son's directness, thinking carefully before answering, oh, sweetie, you could not have got it any more wrong. It's all about you exploring your feminine side. Every man has one and yours flows strongly in you. You should acknowledge its existence and embrace it rather than denying it. Exploring your femininity is not demeaning or degrading, and doing something feminine does not mean being inferior. I can't stand that antiquated, archaic, outdated ideal. If I ruled the world, I would have all men experience a woman's beauty regimen, then they would see the world from a woman's perspective. If more men got in touch with their feminine side, I'm here to tell you the world would be a much better place. I don't have a feminine side, Bobby protested. Oh, stop it, Annette said, laughing. Don't try to tell me something that isn't true, darling. Mothers know these things and you have been this way all your life. But if you are looking for examples, over the past few months, you have been asking a lot of questions about your sisters and my clothing, shoes, and even our makeup, and wanting a lot of details. I thought I saw you reading one of my fashion magazines as well, which is fine if you did, but it's another example of your feminine curiosity. You know me, Mom. I ask a lot of questions and like to read about all kinds of things. Yes, but it went well beyond that. You want more examples? Don't you think I haven't noticed the fascinated looks on your face as your sister and I modeled dresses and outfit combinations for each other? Or chatted about the latest fashions? Or how captivated you were as we discussed what we are going to do with our hair? Do you realize a couple of weekends ago you stayed in the house watching intently as Lisa and I did our hair and makeup? I suspect waiting to see how it all turned out instead of playing outside with your friends. No, he was at a loss for words, unable to deny the truth of her statements, yet still unwilling to admit to them either. Still need more convincing, young man? I have certainly noticed as you let your hair grow out while most of your classmates' hair stayed shorter. There is a touch of femininity about that, but there is absolutely nothing wrong with a man having his hair long. A man with long hair is really kind of intriguing to many women. But what absolutely confirmed your feminine interests happened just 2 weekends ago as I was curling Lisa's hair. You watched in fascination as you usually do when you asked, "What's it like being in curlers?" As you were twirling a lock of your hair. That didn't mean I wanted my hair put in curlers, he stammered as if he just learned something he did not want to know. Ha! On the contrary, it screamed of you wanting your hair set. I thought about sticking it in rollers that very night and I wished I had because Lisa beat me to it. Okay, you may have a point, Mom, he reluctantly conceded. Now that wasn't so hard to admit, was it? I'm your mother and I know you better than you know yourself. Let's continue with your beauty makeover, shall we? Remember, for future reference, rollers first before makeup. It's much easier for a girl to do her makeup with her hair out of the way up in rollers. Hair is such an important part of a woman's beauty regimen, and achieving beautiful hair is so worth the trouble. You'll see. As Annette continued to comb and roll Bobby's hair, she explained she was setting it in a basic mohawk pattern because of its versatility, providing the most styling options. She was meticulous and structured, separating sections of his hair, pinning it up with clips while adding rollers to each section. Annette pulled the same amount of hair onto each curler, winding it neatly and tightly to his scalp, leaving no space between rows of rollers. A straight line of curlers formed from his forehead to nape, and then she proceeded to add rollers to the sides, securing them tightly with plastic picks. Perfect rows of rollers were formed with not a stray hair to be seen, as Annette's perfectionist nature demanded. As the final roller was secured, she declared, "They're all done. The roll-up is half the battle. Your thick hair took a lot of rollers, sweetie, but that means more hair for me to do it up and make you gorgeous." Mom, something's wrong. I can feel what do you call them, the roller picks? They're digging into my scalp. That's how it's supposed to be, sweetie. It's called suffering for the sake of beauty, she chuckled. Ladies endure a lot for our hair and for the sake of beauty, but as I keep telling you, it is so worth it in the end. Now I will give you some mother-to-daughter words of wisdom. A girl can never have too much hair or be too beautiful for that matter. If anyone ever accuses you of either, consider it the highest compliment. Mom, you have too much hair and you are too beautiful. Bobby, you are scoring so many points with your mother tonight, she said, smiling with astonishment. If curling your hair makes you this charming, then we need to do it more often. Whatever you say, Mom, he stated, with uncertainly worried that she was serious. Darling, you can start to get excited imagining all the possibilities as your hair dries, just like a girl does. Just think, when I take your rollers out, I will create a beautiful hairdo, just for you. Your long hair gives me so many glamorous ways to style it. What I really love about hairdressing is the limitless assortment of styles that are possible and the countless ways that hair can be arranged: braids, ponytails, perms, chignons, buns, from updos to downdos or even half updos, and so much more, she sighed. You must be on pins and needles dying to know what dazzling hairstyle I have planned for you, my sweet girl, aren't you? She teased. Mom, do mine like yours. We can have twin hairdos. Like mother, like son, he said playfully. Now you're just being facetious. Let's just keep things a surprise, shall we? She replied with a smile. Be honest, how does it feel with your hair up in rollers? His rollers were set close together in well-ordered rows. There was organization and structure to this hair-setting experience compared to the random and haphazard event his sister orchestrated last week. The sensation was indescribable as he felt rollers tightly pressed to his head. The brush part of the curlers felt prickly but oddly pleasant at the same time. The sweet scent of styling mousse drifted to his nostrils as he reflexively patted his rollers with his hands, touching the individual cylinders all around. His mother and sister checked their roller sets in this most feminine manner. He realized he just now imitated their actions without thinking. As much as he dreaded having his hair set, he silently confessed there was a certain appeal to this process. Was this the sensation of femininity his mother spoke of? Was this all a part of exploring his inner girl? Whatever it was, it almost felt natural to him. He could not deny there was a certain allure to this distinctly feminine experience as a strong feeling of guilt and shame overwhelmed him. I'm not a girl, I'm not a girl, I'm not a girl, he muttered under his breath with determination. I'm not a girl, I don't like getting my hair curled like a girl because I'm not a girl, he said unintentionally aloud. What's that, sweetie? Annette said. Realizing the slip of his tongue, he compensated with an understatement. It feels weird with my hair in rollers. Ladies like the feeling we get with rollers in our hair. The tightness and pull on our scalp as it dries, that our hair is under control and firmly set in place, the anticipation of knowing that we will come through it more beautiful in the end. I know you like it, so don't pretend otherwise. Moms know these things. Moms know everything. Annette gave Bobby a knowing wink and then checked his rollers before announcing, "They're all secure. Now let's give it a good spray, shall we?" She reached for the extra-large can of Final Net and began spraying what seemed like endless amounts of hairspray as a cloud formed around his curlered head. Bobby knew this sound all too well from the week before. The aroma of hairspray mostly overwhelmed the scent of styling mousse, but the combination of the two was fragrant. Upon finishing, Annette proclaimed, "You certainly do look cute in curler sexgisme rollers. You look nice, very pretty in fact, rollers suit you. Not all girls can say that. Just think, you could go to the grocery store, a restaurant, shopping mall, or anywhere you want in hair rollers and still look lovely," she declared playfully. "I will never leave the house with curlers in my hair." "You will if you look this cute," Annette teased. "It's never gonna happen." Never say never. As Bobby played with his curlers again, he noticed the hairspray made his hair wet and sticky. "Bobby, stop messing with your rollers, I don't want them coming loose before morning," Annette scolded. "Did you say morning?" he replied wide-eyed. "Of course. I've already told you, I want your hair to dry naturally. It won't be dry before bedtime, so it's best to let it go overnight anyway. Your curls will turn out much better." "But that means sleeping in curlers," he said horrified. "You have a talent for stating the obvious. Why do I have to sleep in curlers? Silly. Would you rather sit under the hood dryer for an hour? There's no need for that tonight. Also, heat can be a little damaging to your hair. You've got enough split ends as it is." "But I don't want to sleep in curlers," he whined. "Would you like some cheese with that wine?" Annette retorted. "Mom. Bobby, trust you mother. You achieve the best curls this way and they will last longer too. You do want the prettiest curls possible, don't you?" "Mom, please don't make me sleep in curlers," he pleaded. "Oh, you just hush. I used to sleep in rollers almost every night. I still do on occasion if I have the time and inclination. Back in the day I spent many restless nights in curlers, but sleeping in them does get easier and you get used to it the more you do it. Women and girls did this back in my day for the sake of beauty. You men have no idea. You have it so easy. It should be mandatory for all men to sleep in curlers now and again. It would do you all some good. Sleeping in hair rollers won't kill you. Suffering through this part of a woman's beauty regimen will be good for you too." "But Mom." "But nothing. You might be uncomfortable sleeping tonight, but you will be rewarded with beautiful hair in the morning. Just keep thinking of that when you wake up at night. I won't lie, you will toss and turn, especially with this being your first time sleeping in rollers. Whenever you wake up, just think of the gorgeous curls you will receive. Any loss of sleep is worth it for beautiful hair. You are my daughter, so I insist your hair must be top-notch. You will sleep in rollers and you will like it." Cheer up, this means you are just one step away from having a gorgeous hairdo in the morning," she decreed with finality. "Don't worry, sweetie, I remember a few tricks to make you more comfortable when sleeping in them," Annette continued. "If a girl can do it, then so can you." Bobby bowed his curler-laden head in resignation once again. He realized he was repeating this action a lot lately. "Let's put a hairnet over your rollers to protect your set," Annette continued. "A hairnet? But I'd look like a girl with a hairnet." "Really? And you don't with rollers in your hair?" "But, don't be silly. Roller sets and hairnets go together like a hand in glove. We didn't go through all this trouble setting your hair only to have the rollers come loose and ruin your set. I certainly don't want to have to set your hair again tonight. But it's yucky, girly pink. I know pink isn't your favorite color, but this is all we have and it does the job rather nicely. It's more about function than color. But you will look girly cute in a pink hairnet," she teased. "Mom, no. That's enough, young lady. If you keep making trouble like this, we can do this all over again at a beauty salon tomorrow morning." "You wouldn't, you already know the answer to that." Bobby gulped, as he knew what was coming next. When a hairnet was placed over his sister's curlers, the scene was exquisitely feminine. Now it was happening to him. He expected to be sporting a pink one within minutes. Then his mother produced the very same pink hairnet. "This will help to keep your rollers in place while walking around tonight and protect them from coming loose while you are sleeping." Annette took a moment to press her son's hair rollers, making sure they were all firmly anchored one final time. Satisfied they were all securely in place, she positioned the triangular, pink-meshed hairnet over the rollers at Bobby's forehead, around the sides, and then tied it firmly at the back. With a triumphant smile she said, "There you are, darling, all done." Bobby took several deep breaths. This was just too much, his hair in rollers, the pink hairnet going over. Bobby felt like he was being transformed, but at the same time as emasculated as ever. He was hopelessly ensnared in femininity, helpless to escape. "Now, let's do your makeup, shall we? Your androgynous face is perfect for it," she continued. Bobby knew the term androgynous well. With his face and long hair, he was sometimes mistaken for a girl. "We'll start with a little foundation and blush, especially around those cheekbones." He sat in the chair facing his mother's vanity mirror, his face illuminated with 3 bright lights. Annette started with a foundation. She explained that it would hide any imperfections. On top of the foundation she brushed on a powder. His eyes were closed throughout this process, but he could feel the progress of the brush across his face. This sensation was new to him and it felt strangely pleasing. Next, she applied the rosy red blush. Annette used a smaller brush working the blush up along his cheekbone. She spent the next several minutes dabbing and swirling, then finishing off with the makeup brush and powder. With his basic face set, Annette turned her attention to his eyes. "Now let's get your lashes curled." She produced a metal device that made Bobby recoil. He had the pleasure of enduring his sister's failed attempt at curling his eyelashes last week with this insidious torture device. He shuddered while recalling the helpless feeling as the implement clamped down on his eyelashes, tugging and pulling, daring him to move. How the contraption didn't pull out every eyelash and his eyelid as well, he will never know. That thing belongs in a medieval dungeon. "You're not using that heinous instrument of torment on me," he declared. "It's just an eyelash curler." Annette laughed. "It's more suited for extracting information from its victims," he uttered in a hushed tone. Are you really scared of this little thing? I promise you, sweetie, it won't hurt. That's what Lisa said, but it did. We have to make your eyes look lovely and inviting, and this is the only way to do it. You do want alluring eyes, don't you? Not if it means pain. Just think of it as no pain, no gain for beauty, Annette giggled. But seriously, darling, curling our eyelashes is something we do every day. Trust me, I've done it a million times, so I'll be gentle. Just hold still and it will be over before you know it. Bobby held his breath and clenched his teeth as his mother moved the device toward his right eye. Don't flinch, don't squirm, just stay there. One down and one to go, whispered Annette. Now. Just be still, voila. Yes. All done, beautifully curled. Just wait till I apply your mascara. Bobby exhaled. His face flushed red, he was relieved the ordeal was over. I can't believe I got through that, he uttered aloud. If you think that was uncomfortable, try wearing a corset. Annette declared. A corset, I wonder? No, not just yet. Girls your age aren't quite taking shape, so your figure wouldn't look natural bound in a corset just yet, she decided. Bobby was content to stay silent. He decided he did not want to know what his mother meant by not just yet or learn what a corset was. Time to do your eyebrows. Oh dear, they could do with a good plucking, but I won't put you through that tonight, Annette said. With the care of a makeup artist, she maneuvered the eyebrow pencil to carefully shape his eyebrows into a feminine look. There. You have passable eyebrows. Now you must stay completely still so I can draw a nice, thin line with the eyeliner. Annette reasoned this was going to be difficult. She felt fortunate to properly curl her son's eyelashes while he flinched and squirmed. Undo, stop twitching, Annette ordered. I can't get the line right. Bobby could not keep his eyes still while she worked on his lids. After numerous flinches, Annette gave up on drawing a thin line and gave her son a bold line that encircled the outer halves of his eyes. This wasn't quite what I wanted, but it will have to do. I hope this part will be easier the next time. There won't be a next time, Bobby replied. When you see what pretty eyes you have, you will beg me to have another go at you. Annette snickered. Now close your eyes, you'll feel just a light brush as I do your eyeshadow. She applied the bronze eyeshadow just below his brow and across his eyelids. Oh! That is simply gorgeous. Such an attractive color, I may do mine with it tomorrow. So alluring. Close your eyes and don't move a muscle, sweetie. I want to get your mascara just right. She applied his mascara with a series of light flicks of the wand. She did his right eye, his left eye, back to the right eye, and then finished up on the left. Ah, so lovely. You men have the most beautiful lashes. So wonderfully long and thick, enough to make any girl jealous. That's not fair, mine never turn out as pretty as yours. That's because you molest yours with that horrific eyelash curler all the time. Bobby deadpanned. Now, time to define your lips. Annette carefully and meticulously applied his lip liner. Ah, yes. I'm so pleased I went with lip liner. You didn't have feminine lips before, but you do now. Your boy lips are now girl lips. Thanks for the girl lips, Bobby groaned. Now let's give them the color they deserve, purse them like so, Annette instructed as she applied her son's lipstick. My heavens! They turned out marvelously. Cherry red suits you. I wanted to make a bold statement with your lipstick color, and we certainly achieved that. If these were my lips, I would call them sexy and alluring. Let's just call yours pouty and pretty and leave it at that. Something every boy wants. Stop it. Sarcasm is the lowest form of wit. I meant to say, it's important to have lovely lips, he fibbed. Lips are a part of a girl's beauty regimen which deserves to be attractive and well presented as much as her hair, eyes, and face. Cheer up, I know you'll get lots of attention tonight. He glanced quizzically at his mother. He did not comprehend what getting lots of attention meant and was not sure he wanted to. As he pondered the meaning of her statement, his mother interrupted his train of thought. Bobby, have a look in the mirror, she exclaimed in a soothing voice. You like? The scene was surreal. The reflection in the mirror was not his but that of a girl's. Mom, I can't believe it. I look just like a girl. How did you do this? He said in astonishment. A lifetime of practice, she answered dismissively. Like I said, you have a good face for makeup. I hope you know how lucky you are. Most boys never get to see their feminine side. Bobby, let's pretend you are an actress getting ready to go on stage and you already went to hair and makeup. What do you think would come next? Annette hinted playfully. Wardrobe? Bravo, young lady. I guess my wardrobe won't include pants tonight, huh? Your guess would be right. Annette affirmed teasingly. No pants tonight. Your wardrobe, my lovely daughter, will be that very pretty skirt and blouse combo I bought for you. Now, sweetie, I held back this last surprise because I know what you are going to say. Last week when you were dressed, you had on boys' underwear. That chiffon dress and your briefs were a horrible combination. Your underwear doesn't go with skirts either. Tonight you will wear something befitting of a young lady. Mom, you're not saying what I think you're saying, you can't possibly mean, he said nervously. If you think I'm saying girls' panties, then you are right. And that is exactly what I mean, she affirmed. Panties are a foundation garment and are fundamentally essential to wearing dresses and skirts. Not only that, a girl just feels attractive in pretty undies. You will feel it too. Annette handed Bobby a bag containing black, white, red and pink bikini-style, girls' cotton underwear. Red or black will go well with your skirt tonight. If you like these basics, then we can go shopping for panties in pretty designs and fabrics such as satin, silk or lace, she added. Oh, great! He thought with disbelief. Now I have to wear yucky girls' underwear? Mom is really taking this to the extreme. Shopping for panties? She can't be serious. Imagine my mother taking me to the girls' section of a department store as she asks the associate, I'm looking for some pretty satin and lace panties for my son? Let's also have him try on some slips while we're here. What next, prom dresses? How can this be happening? Where is all this going? He pondered incredulously as Annette interrupted his thoughts with a question. Have you ever wondered what it's like to wear a bra, sweetheart? Oh, my God! Mom, you don't expect me to wear a bra, do you? I most certainly do. Girls your age are old enough to start wearing training bras, so you are too. It wouldn't hurt you to wear one. You will see how it feels, how it binds. The first time is always the most difficult, but you will get used to it the more times you wear one. It will become second nature to you. So yes, you will be fitted with a bra tonight. This one is very pretty and I will help you with it, but it wouldn't hurt you to practice and learn how to put one on by yourself. What are all these references to me wearing women's undergarments in the future? He questioned silently. Speaking aloud, he queried incredulously, why would it benefit me to practice putting on a bra? One never knows when such a thing might be useful, she stated with a wry grin. But let's not think about that now. I bought you some hosiery. You have these wonderful ultra-sheer pantyhose and these lovely red tights. Either would enhance your lovely legs. What do you mean by lovely legs? He protested. I mean they are nicely toned and a little bit shapely, that your legs are kind of feminine, perhaps? That's not a bad thing, sweetheart, so don't give me that look. Mom, I don't have. Annette cut him off. You most certainly do. And if a girl has lovely legs like yours, then she must show them off. You must wear something that highlights your pretty legs and makes them stand out. Girls like getting noticed, and that's one of many reasons why we work so hard at making ourselves attractive. Oh. Here, slip on the red tights. They will enhance and accentuate your girl legs and provide a nice contrast to your black skirt. Get into your tights and panties and I'll help you when you are ready for your bra, skirt and blouse. Still grumbling from being told he has girls' legs, he retreated to his bedroom with 4 pairs of panties and bright red tights that pull up to his hips. I guess I'm also the proud owner of panties and tights. Where am I going to keep all this girl stuff? He muttered. Bobby shook his head, pondering how he arrived in this situation. Last week Lisa made me wear a dress and curled my hair. Tonight Mom has me in makeup, my hair in curlers covered with a pink hairnet, and she is about to make me wear a skirt and tights and a bra, and I'm willingly slipping into girls' panties. Why am I not objecting? I should be saying no, so why do I keep saying yes? He gazed at the panties in one hand. I guess I'll go with black, he thought. He stared at the tights in the other hand. Mom. This feels weird, he shouted. Annette rushed to Bobby's bedroom, standing in the doorway witnessing her son wearing black panties over the red tights. She doubled over, laughing uncontrollably while steadying herself against the door jamb, unable to control her laughter and stand at the same time. What? What is it? Bobby stood confounded. Annette was unable to form a coherent thought. She wiped tears of laughter from her face, regaining some of her composure. Panties go on first, she croaked. Oh. Darling, I'll come back when you are ready. She added, still giggling. Annette returned when he corrected his error. Bobby stood before his mother with nervous trepidation as if awaiting inspection, wearing only black bikini panties and shiny red tights that enveloped his legs and hips. The hairnet that bound his hair rollers obscured his masculinity, his makeup obliterated all trace of the boy he was. Annette held her son's training bra like a devoted mother guiding a daughter with the fitting of her first bra. She recalled with a mother's pride and joy helping her daughter, Lisa, with her first training bra a year and a half ago, guiding her first steps into womanhood. Now she was repeating the experience, directing her son's foray into femininity, something she could only imagine a few weeks ago. Sensing his anxiety, she attempted to break the tension. Bobby, I wasn't laughing at you, just at the sight of you with your panties on top of your tights. I know you weren't given instructions, I just assumed. Someday you will find this very amusing, she again chuckled. Now for your bra. Hold out your arms like so. Do I have to wear a bra, Mom? Of course you do. Girls your age must wear one, Annette affirmed. Can't we just skip this? No. She replied sternly. And do stop fidgeting, Annette snapped as she fiddled with his bra straps. I'm telling you for the last time, all girls your age must wear a bra. But I'm not a girl. You are tonight. But I never thought I'd ever have to wear a bra, he sulked. Well, you've never been a girl before. But nothing. Annette interrupted. This is a very pretty bra, so be still. We must get it to sit perfectly before putting on your blouse. Bobby felt the straps binding over his shoulders, constricting around his chest and back. Is it supposed to be this tight, Mom? It's just right, sweetheart. You're just not used to it yet. The longer you wear it, the more second nature it will become and you won't even know it's there. I thought about patting your cups, but any bumps wouldn't look natural on a girl your age. It will be okay to be flat-chested for now. Now when you get a little older, I'll be wearing your bra, he mocked. Annette ignored her son's derisive tone as she held his skirt and blouse. I promise you'll look cute and feel fabulous in this skirt. Men don't realize just how binding pants are. A skirt gives you full freedom of movement and you will feel so wonderfully free. I'll wager you will like wearing this one and you may even fall in love with skirts, she chuckled. Your tights will match your blouse but will also provide a nice contrast to your black skirt. I know you will love wearing tights. You may not want to go back to bare legs again, she tittered. But first, your blouse. As she placed the shiny garment through his arms, Bobby noticed the front buttons were on the wrong side, his left side instead of his right. That's one difference between men's and women's clothing, Annette informed him. She buttoned up his blouse and remarked, I can see the outline of your bra straps, but it will have to do. Now for the all-important skirt. She wrapped the garment around his waist and made the proper adjustments as the black, pleated skirt hem rose up his long legs to his thighs. Oh, dear. I misjudged the hemline. I didn't want to go quite this high, but you weren't with me to model it. Oh well, it's too late to take it back to the store now, so it looks like you'll be wearing a short skirt tonight. I said we are going for a bold look and mid-thigh is quite daring and makes a statement. It doesn't hurt that you have the legs for short skirts. They will certainly get noticed now. I really am showing a lot of leg, aren't I? I never realized I had such long legs. Bobby said with astonishment. Not all girls have the legs for short skirts. You should be thrilled that you do. It's quite eye-catching and some girls can only dream of having legs like yours. We should get them waxed at the salon sometime, she tittered. Waxed? But I'm a boy. That doesn't matter. But, oh, you just hush. Now model your skirt for me, she commanded. You do remember Lisa teaching you how to model dresses last week, don't you? How could I forget? She threatened to make me model them outside on the front lawn if I didn't pay attention and learn fast. She trained me on how to stand, how to walk, how to sway and twirl, and even how to curtsy. Until a week ago, Bobby never conceived in his wildest dreams that he would learn how to model a dress. Now he can do it as capably as many girls. This is yet another secret I can never tell any of my buddies at school, he said to himself ruefully. I didn't think the curtsy was necessary, he added aloud. Of course it is. Annette snickered. There's an art to curtsying in dresses and skirts and you mastered it. She giggled. Now model, she ordered. He began to model his skirt as if on a runway, feeling it swishing against his thighs, embarrassed while imagining he was the only boy on earth possessing the knowledge and skill to model women's clothing. He observed his mother studying him intently as he moved through his progressions, standing, moving, twirling, stopping, and walking and so on. Bobby! You are getting good at this. You are moving with the grace and elegance of a girl. I have lost a son but gained a daughter, she teased. Mom, stop it, he paused with his hands on his hips. Aren't you forgetting something? Annette said with a smirk. I don't know what you mean. Yes, you do, she said, folding her arms in expectation. You don't expect me to. Yes, I do. He muttered under his breath as he daintily grasped opposite sides of the hem of his skirt, splaying it out with both hands as he bent his knees in a deep curtsy. Very good, she exclaimed, clapping her hands in applause. Now model it again. This time pay attention to how your skirt moves, how it sways and swishes. Does it flow naturally with you as you move? Ask yourself, does it feel a part of you? Do you feel pretty wearing it? We girls focus on details like this. Bobby's second modeling run was performed with unmatched flair and confidence. He felt his femininity, a mounting girlishness stirring inside him that was impossible to ignore. Boys aren't supposed to feel this way, he thought as he attempted to deny this growing sensation. His embarrassment was palpable, but, at the same time, he felt a twinge of something he never expected: liberation. He released his long-suppressed femininity, allowing his inner girl to flourish, unleashing her for a brief minute as he modeled with the uninhibited passion of a ballerina, finishing his performance with a triumphant curtsy reminiscent of a stage actress taking a bow. Annette stood applauding in a standing ovation. Bravo! Bravo! That's the passion and enthusiasm I've wanted to see from you all night. Now listen carefully. I am your mother and I want to know how you feel about your skirt. Now tell everything you are thinking at this moment and tell me honestly. All right, Mom. I'm embarrassed that I've gotten so good so quickly at modeling dresses and skirts. It feels weird wearing a skirt, but I now understand what you mean by being free in one. I felt the hem brushing against my thighs as I moved and it tingled. It was electric. For a moment I forgot I was a boy and felt pretty. I never thought a piece of cloth could do that to me, he confessed. Is this part of being a girl? Oh, darling, isn't it marvelous? I'm so glad you touched your feminine side and could allow yourself to feel pretty, she said, gushing with joy as she embraced her son and gently kissed him on his forehead. You are starting to think like a girl. It's what I've been telling you all night. I'm giving you a taste of how women and girls have to think when getting dressed, or even deciding what to wear. Ladies fuss about clothing details a lot more than men do. I hope all of this will make you appreciate what we women go through to be attractive. Mom, you're right. I never realized how much work it is being a girl, Bobby confessed in revelation. I wish all men had the revelation you just had, but that's just scratching the surface. It is hard work being a girl and it gets even harder being a woman, but it's also very rewarding, she said with conviction. I'm so pleased you learned this lesson. Someday you may find a nice girl who will do all of this to be beautiful for you. Going through this yourself will make you appreciate her all the more. Now just sit here for a minute and I'll be right back. Remember to tuck your skirt under before you sit, just like what you do with a dress. And don't sit there like a lumberjack. Cross your legs, Annette commanded. Annette returned with a pair of pearl earrings from her jewelry box. Pearls go with just about anything. He felt a firm pinching pressure as she clipped them onto his earlobes. They're very nice. I also have a surprise for you from Lisa's closet. She revealed a pair of stylish, black open-toed high heels. Sweetie, there's an elegance to wearing high heels. We girls look so much better in them. You will too, she said. The 4-inch pencil-thin heels would be no easy task for Bobby to manage. Annette slipped the exquisitely feminine shoes onto her son's feet and gently tightened the straps. Now, darling, stand up and let your mother see her beautiful daughter. Annette gently lifted Bobby to his wobbly feet. He stood with trepidation before his mother adorned in full, female regalia with his feet clad in stiletto heels. "Oh, my heavens! Don't you look ravishing?" It was more of a statement than a question. She gently held his arm and led her femininely transformed son as he staggered unsteadily to a full-length mirror in her bedroom. "Don't trip, sweetie. I know moving around is difficult and you will need lots of practice walking in high heels before I would feel comfortable leaving you on your own." Each step was precarious, wobbling and stumbling as he walked. The footing was treacherous and he realized he could fall over at any moment. He could not run in high heels even if he wanted to. Why do ladies suffer through this? Why are heels worth all this trouble? He wondered. He decided not to ask, instead focusing intently on his next step. "What do you think, darling?" Annette asked hopefully. Bobby stood gazing into the full-length mirror with his mouth agape. A girl he did not recognize stared back. "This can't be right. How can this be my reflection?" he thought with astonishment. "I look so pretty. I look just like a girl." His radiant red lips, his enchanting eyes, his short skirt highlighting his long, feminine legs. "This isn't me, it can't be." But it was. The image in the mirror moved as he did. "What did Mom just do to me?" He quivered. "I can't believe this is me," he gasped. The reflection was the female version of him. He saw no trace of the boy he was. It just struck him that he had undergone a stunning transformation. He now understood his mother's reference to feeling feminine and beautiful. This was transcendent and there was no going back now. Why did this feel so natural to him? He wanted to be transformed again sometime in the future but felt a moment of guilt that he did. "How is this possible?" he replied awestruck. Annette delighted in hearing his response. "I must say, Bobby, I could not have made you any more beautiful than you are right now, even if you had been born a girl. You don't realize it yet, but being a girl can be fun and very rewarding, and you do make a beautiful girl." As she kissed his cheek, she added, "I'm honestly not just saying that." Tonight's mission of guiding her son through his feminine awakening was more of a success than she ever thought possible. She knew this effort would not be the last. "Are you finally enjoying this, Bobby?" "Yes, but I'm scared of liking it too much." "Darling, remember what I said about your feminine side. Don't be afraid of it and embrace it as part of you. Let your femininity flow through you whenever you want it to." I think I want it to now," he said hesitantly. He continued to admire his feminine form in the full-length mirror, gazing at the rear of his skirt and back of his legs with his head turned, looking over his shoulder as he had seen his mother and sister do countless times before. "Wait until Lisa sees this. She will tease me, but I don't care. It doesn't matter because I am a girl tonight." "Of course, my lovely daughter," Annette replied. "But now it's time to pick up Lisa from dance class." "Okay, Mom. See you when you get back," he said dismissively as he played with the hem of his skirt. "Who said anything about you staying at home, young lady?" He held his breath then exhaled in relief. "Phew! You really had me going there for a second, Mom. Thank the stars you are just teasing." His eyes widened in disbelief, shuddering as he realized his mother's facial expression suggested otherwise. "Mom, you don't mean..." "You know exactly what I mean," she nodded. "I can't come with you. I can't do that. I can't go out into town in a skirt with my hair up in curlers," he protested. "Would you prefer to wear a dress instead?" "But I'll be seen." That's the idea, sweetie. I already told you girls love to be noticed. And you are such a beautiful girl tonight. I know someone will compliment you on how lovely you look. All girls like to hear they are pretty. You will too, you'll see. But, no, he sputtered. There is nothing quite like the feeling of wearing a beautiful skirt like yours and going for a walk down the street. What have I been saying all night about your feminine side? This is expressing it to the fullest. Besides, you are much too pretty to allow your look to go to waste by staying inside, she added. Mom can't be serious. I can deal with being all dolled up like a girl, but I didn't sign up for this. He grumbled to himself in disbelief. I'll be ruined if someone recognizes me. It will be disastrous. He said despairingly. Don't be silly. People will only see a very pretty young lady. Ah, how exciting it is to be as lovely as you are now and show off your beauty to the world for the first time. What a thrill it must be to release your male self and accept your wonderfully feminine fate. But you are still not getting it. You must immerse yourself in your feminine side and confront it head-on. I already told you how magical it is walking down the street looking and feeling beautiful. It gives a girl confidence, and confidence is everything to a girl. Trust your mother, you won't be recognized. If anyone asks, I will say you are my niece and no one will know the difference. Besides, it's autumn and it's already dark outside. Mom, no. Please. I can't. I won't, he sulked. You can and you will. Fine. Then I'll change back into my normal clothes and you can remove my makeup and take the curlers out of my hair, he said despairingly. Now you are being ridiculous. I already told you, we are not removing your rollers until tomorrow morning and we didn't spend all night working on your look only to have you squander it. No. No, he shouted, stomping his foot 3 times. He immediately realized this action was comically ineffective in 4-inch stiletto heels. But his mother was not amused. Don't be like that with me, young lady. Another word out of you and I will be most displeased. You are coming with me to collect your sister from dance class like you always do, and that's the end of it. She declared, exasperated. Or would you like me to drop you off at the Jones house instead? Bobby realized his mother meant business and would carry out her threat if he uttered another word of protest. Further provoking her would result in consequences he did not wish to endure. Changing the subject was the best course of action, he thought. It's chilly outside, can I at least wear sweatpants? Bobby queried dejectedly. Sweatpants with a skirt? What a horrible combination, young lady. Any girl in her right mind wouldn't be caught dead in such a heinous ensemble. What will you think of next, blue jeans with a dress? Annette laughed aloud. Be fortunate you are wearing tights with your skirt. A lot of girls go without any leg coverings at all. Ah. But don't you worry. I just thought of some lovely things for you to wear that will keep you warm at the same time. Oh great, I can hardly wait, he muttered in defeat. Annette returned with a soft, pink cashmere sweater pulled from Lisa's closet. This will do quite nicely, she said as she helped Bobby into this unmistakably feminine garment. Here. I also have this lovely scarf to cover your rollers. Before you make that face, just know, back in my day it was quite fashionable for ladies to go out about town with scarves covering our rollers. We didn't think twice about it. I don't do it nearly as much as I used to, but trust me, you'll be fine. She floated the sheer, pink scarf over her son's curler-laden head and tied it under his chin. "There, you look very pretty in pink. Pink suits you. The scarf matches your sweater quite nicely. It will help keep your head warm and hide your rollers all at the same time." His hair rollers remained prominent as the scarf did little to conceal them. Distinct roller bumps were noticeable pushing up under the scarf, while several curlers were revealed about his temples and forehead. "My goodness, don't you bring back memories? You look like a girl from my days, the 60s. Annette said amusingly. "Just put me in a miniskirt, flowers in my hair and a peace sign around my neck and I'd fit right in," he interjected dryly. "Oh, wait. I am in a miniskirt," he added sarcastically. "I must admit, you do look attractive, quite stylish in fact." "Don't worry, darling, no one can tell you are anything but an adorable young lady," she intoned soothingly. "I guess that's the point," he muttered in resignation. Still wobbly in high heels, Annette led her femininely transformed son to his sister's bedroom. "You look amazing in heels and they make all the difference in your ensemble. It's a shame you don't know how to walk in them yet. Lisa has a nice pair of low-heeled pumps that will be easier for you to get around in tonight. Let's start you off in something manageable before going on to more challenging shoes." "Don't do me any favors, Mom. Keep me in heels," he demanded contemptuously. "If I'm to be paraded around town as a girl, then I might as well go all the way. You said it yourself, we look best in high heels. My girl legs must be put on display for the entire world to see. If girls wear heels, then so should I. I'm all girl tonight, remember?" he asserted in a martyred voice. "You're being such a drama queen," Annette retorted. She experienced this mindset from her son before. When he gets in this state, it is best to let it play out and allow him to continue on his path, she decided. Like a free wheel spinning off its axle, Bobby continued his rambling diatribe. "Maybe a boy will tell me I'm pretty. Girls live for that, right? A boy telling another boy who he thinks is a girl but is really a boy that he is pretty? What am I supposed to do then, huh? Tell him, what a sweet thing to say, and do a deep curtsy? What if a boy asks me out to the school dance? What then? I don't dare tell him I'm a boy, so do I keep pretending I'm a girl and be his date? What then, huh? Do we go out and buy me a dress for the big dance? How crazy would that be?" he said truculently while rapidly losing energy and momentum. His eyes suddenly widened, horrified as he realized his insolence may have just earned him a ticket to the Jones house where he would stand before his best friend Steve and his parents. What was worse? Being dropped off at Steve's dressed like a girl with my hair in curlers, or going out into town as a girl praying no one recognizes me? Annette sighed, ignoring most of her son's ranting tirade, declaring, "Very well, heels it is. However, I will give you this advice: when you are in a skirt and heels, the world moves at your pace, you don't move at the world's pace. Here, take this purse. Every girl needs a purse, you can borrow this one tonight. I've put your makeup in it for when you need touch-ups while we're out. Now we need to get going. Let's not keep your sister waiting." Bobby was overcome with a sense of finality. He knew when his mother decides something will happen, it is set in stone, nothing can change her mind. The tactic he used on his sister last week of overwhelming her with compliments before asking her favor would be hopelessly futile with his mother tonight. There was no turning back and no chance of escaping his fate. It was as inevitable as the rising sun and unavoidable as taxes. "I don't want to go out like this," he pleaded. "Life isn't always about what you want. Mom, why do I have to go out dressed like a girl?" He sniveled pitifully in one final, desperate attempt to dodge his destiny. You don't have to, you get to. She replied with unfettered enthusiasm as if he had just won a prize. But I'm a boy. Not tonight, you're not. You said it yourself, you're all girl, remember? I know, Mom, he resigned dejectedly. Good. I'll warm up the car.